So that brings us to something that almost everyone struggles with, but rarely admits, myself included. Do you feel networking is intimidating, and how do you get past that?
Yeah, I actually really honestly I dislike networking. When I applied to like the consulting club here on Intepper, like part of the process is like going on coffee chats with current members, and it's definitely something that was kind of intimidating to me like to begin with because it's like just like a random person that you don't really know that you have to talk to. You have to find a way to make good conversation for 30 minutes so that they like you. You learn a lot, and you don't come off as like transactional. I think that that's very hard to do, and it's something that I still like kind of try to shy away from still to this day. But I think it is really, really important because, you know, obviously in terms of especially like club applications, like a lot of it is, who you know and how much they can vouch for you in deliberations. And it's kind of the same in like recruiting for internships. Like if you can have a coffee chat with, the recruiting manager for a certain office and they can really vouch hard for you, you can kind of at least get to an interview round or you can get past an initial screening round at least. And it's something that can really open up a lot of doors for you. And so I think it's really, really important to know.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree. Networking is very critical in like the career search or really just like getting to know people. I think sometimes people think of networking as just like talking to industry professionals, but it's also literally just getting to know the people in your major in the school that you go to. For me, I think it kind of depends. I You can probably tell by now I'm a massive extrovert and I love like meeting new friends and talking to new people. However, networking is also it's a very long process, and whether it's like having the discussion with someone or reaching out to them in the first place or following up with them with a thank you email, as like it's very important to do, and then also keeping those connections warm, like maybe sharing an update about some new initiative that you got involved in or something new that you did. And so I think the networking process itself I do enjoy just because my nature very much gravitates towards like meeting new people and just like fostering new relationships. This also like kind of translates into mentorship. Like so much of the alumni that I've networked with, they're so open to like talking to you and taking the time out of your day to get to know you. So I think it is definitely a very valuable experience. But it is a long process. So I definitely think, there's like different aspects to it, but putting the time into it, not overwhelming yourself too much and kind of spacing it out is definitely something that helps me as well.
Yeah, I think with networking, um, I would say that I enjoy it. I think it's definitely harder when you don't have a lot of common ground with someone, but the people who I have talked to, they're usually all CMU alumni and they did the same major that I did and have similar interests. So I think finding common ground is not terribly difficult. I think it can definitely be intimidating and overwhelming when that person has a lot of seniority in a company versus someone who is a more recent graduate where you feel like a little bit more connected and closer with them. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think I probably have the least amount of networking experience out of everyone here because, like I'm going to be applying to medical school. I'm not going to be, looking for a job right out of college and things like that. And also I don't have, the same kind of internships that um, are kind of, part of other majors. But in terms of talking to people who are more experienced than you, which obviously I've had to do, um, I think, yeah, it's definitely really easy to, feel very self conscious and feel like, you don't know a lot. But it's important to remember, like, you don't know as much yet as the people who have had so many more years of experience than you. And it's okay to ask questions and not know things, because I think that makes you seem more genuine to people. Um, and yeah, just to be, true to yourself and, just be, open and honest about things. And yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions. That's very important.